world with social networking. She studies social media, consults for online media, and is a leading expert in women and technology. Deanna Zandt joins us now from CNN New York. Deanna, tell me, you know, this notion that it's a universal right, much opposition to that?
I think there probably could be for folks that believe in a more free market approach to how utilities should be handled. But to me, the internet really should be viewed as a public utility, much like we view electricity and running water. You know, we all can generally agree that those are a good idea for people to have. And the internet is less a luxury now and much more fundamental to how we operate in the world.
If that's all true, you know, it raises all kinds of issues about spam, about, you know, whether people have the right to send it out, whether it has to be foisted upon me. Is this going to, do you think, just introduce a whole myriad of issues that have to be sorted out because, well, we're having the government step into our private lives?
I don't think that it'll have so much of an issue on something like spam, but providing fundamental access is one of those situations where, again, like providing running water to homes, it ends up benefiting everyone. If we can provide educational services, health services, access to those kinds of things, if we can provide local businesses in rural areas with the ability to innovate and be real entrepreneurs and leading in their areas, that benefits the larger community at whole. And to me, that's exactly why a government should get involved in this situation.
When you look at the history of the internet, how 20 years ago it was just something that was hidden away in universities and by the military, today it is so omnipresent in everyone's lives. How do you think it's going to evolve in the future then? Even more integration?
I do see a lot more integration, and I see the services that are being developed now, especially in the arena of social networking, becoming a more fluid part of our lives and more integrated, especially as mobile really takes off and really develops and becomes part of how we deal with one another. I think we'll see culturally it definitely becoming more of a seamless part of our lives. What
is the payoff? If governments around the world say this is a right, not just a privilege, not just a service you're allowed to buy, what's the payoff, do you think, in terms of how we see the internet, how it affects our lives, how it may affect our governments?
Well, to be clear also, we're talking about the right to access, which is different than actually providing the service for people. And so I do want to make that distinction. But providing the right to access, again, when you think about the impact that the internet has had on education and providing tools for people to be able to engage in commerce from long distances, the value can't be underestimated in what that brings back to the communities and in any number of ways through tax base, you know, increases.
Does it become a universal right then in poor countries around the world?
I think it absolutely does, yes.
All right. Deanna Zandt, I want to thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Shedding a little bit more light as we look at this issue through the prism this hour.